earlier, an important part of making these platforms so capable is our developers. We believe it's crucial that we provide the best tools so you can create the best apps. That's why we created Swift. Swift is a powerful and intuitive programming language for iOS, macOS, watchOS, and tvOS. And writing Swift code is fun and interactive, and apps written in it are lightning fast. Since we released Swift less than 2 years ago, we've seen an amazing response from the developer community. There's already more than 100,000 apps that have adopted the use of Swift code, including great apps like Twitter and Strava and Lyft. Now, we wanted everyone to use Swift, so we released it as open source in December, and since then the adoption has been amazing. It's already the #1 language project on GitHub. Swift is powerful, but it's also simple and it's approachable, so it can be your very first programming language. This is a very important point for us. Because Swift is so easy to learn, it has the potential to bring many more people into coding. And this is an idea we would like to take even further. So today, we're introducing a new app for iPad. We call it Swift Playgrounds. Playground will revolutionize the way people learn to code. And they'll be able to do it right on their iPad, which instantly makes it accessible for hundreds of millions of people around the world. There's never been anything like this. We believe it's the absolute best way to teach everyone to code, combining the powerful Swift programming language and the powerful capabilities of iPad. To show it to you, I'd like to invite Cheryl Thomas up. Cheryl?
Thank you, Tim. I am thrilled to show you Swift Playgrounds, an incredible new app that transforms how kids learn to code. I'll launch it right now. We land on this gorgeous screen full of custom content from Apple. Up at the top are lessons, and down below we have challenges. I'm going to start with the very first lesson in the fundamentals of Swift. We see a preview of the content with graphics and a description, and I'll open it. It starts with an introduction to the coding concept I'll be learning, and when I'm good and ready, I can just tap in the lower corner to start coding. Over on the right, you can see we have an interactive world that I can explore using touch. I'll swipe it, looks good, and pinch to zoom. This is Byte. He's my character. I think he's irresistible, and I'll be controlling him with code. Over on the left are instructions that explain and help guide me through the problem I'll be solving, and down below is where I enter my code. Byte's been waiting patiently, so I'll tap to enter Swift code. You can see commands have appeared at the bottom. These are just like quick type suggestions, but for code. My objective in this lesson is to get him to the end of that path and collect a gem. So I'll tap move forward 3 times, and then collect gem. Watch the world on the right as I run my code. Byte moves forward, he follows the commands in the exact order I've entered, gets the gem, and I've completed my very first lesson. Kids are going to love it. Now I can continue to the next lesson in the series, or I can jump around to wherever I'd like. To do that, I tap in the top left to open the table of contents, and you can see we include a ton of great content here to engage and motivate learners. This one on loops, looping all the sides, looks a little interesting. I'm going to check it out. Now we have a few lines of code already filled in. I'll go ahead and run it and see what happens. Byte moves forward, he gets the site around all 4 sides of the world. To do that, I'm going to need a for loop. I'll tap the plus up top to open my code library, and all I have to do is just drag a for loop right into my code. Now watch this. I can tap that loop, grab the end of it, and just drag it all around my code. All right, I'll tap the number placeholder, set this loop to repeat 4 times. Looks good. Okay, keep your eyes on byte as I run my code. He moves forward, gets the gem, makes the turn, and this time with the added for loop, he just keeps on going. I finished another lesson, and I'm well on my way to mastering loops. Wouldn't this have been cool when we were all learning to code? I mean, come on, you students, let me hear it. Come on. Swift Playgrounds is a fantastic app to master the basics, but it doesn't stop there. Let me show you. I'll tap in the top left corner to go to my library of playgrounds. I can also explore advanced coding and use the power of the iOS SDK to do almost anything I'd like. I happen to have something I've been working on. It combines my 2 favorite things, physics and emoji, interestingly. Okay, you can see that this is a lot more sophisticated than what we've been doing. I have some emoji on the right, thank goodness. I can tap to add more. That's a big B, okay. Now I can also fling them around, and because this is physics emoji, they create a nice little reaction. But you also notice they're all just falling down to the bottom. And that's because right now gravity is fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with gravity a little bit, because who doesn't like to do that? I'm going to double tap to bring up the keyboard. We've built a completely new coding keyboard, and it is awesome. The keyboard has the numbers and symbols and uses Swift programming, and they're right at my fingertips. I'm going to quickly set the world's angle, world.angle, equal to the gyroscope's angle. Looks good. Okay, now look at the bottom of the keyboard. There's a V key. It also has an asterisk on it. Watch what happens when I press and drag down. I get an asterisk for multiplication. You're going to get to see that again. I bet you knew that, all right? Look at the W key. I'm going to press and drag down for a number 2. Okay, let's see what kind of impact this had. Let's take this full screen and run my code. Of course, because my playground now has access to the iPad hardware, as I pick up the iPad and I tilt it, all my emoji react. And that's how they like it, I have to tell you. Okay, so I've shown you just a taste of what you can create on your own and a small sample of the amazing lessons